Welcome, Mortal Kind Quest Accepted, and Campaign 1, Campaign Teslam, where we're currently doing Session 2 for the prequel for Shun, Vagari, and Sabhir. How are you guys doing?
I'm nervous. I'm nervous to see how it goes.
Nervous.
I second that statement.
But
Shun
I'm feeling
opens
great.
tonight, so Sabhir and I get some warm up through him vicariously.
You get some time to chill. I'm gonna try to jump a little more between you guys, because last session it was like all Vagari and Sabhir and then all Shun, which is fine. But this time I'm gonna try to jump in a little more back.
Did you just combo wombo our names?
I was about to say it actually kind of worked.
I did. I did.
Vahir and Sagari. One of them smoking.
One of them's burning alive.
I'm gonna beat you with my axe, see?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, see? Okay. Let us...
Been trying to get back into the voice and been realizing that I've been doing hairballs.
Vagari and Sabhir. At the promise of an ally turned friend, Khadija Riyahi, Daron to one of the 12 noble families of Muzbarak, broke into the Almajid arena and staged an uprising of the slave gladiators within. In the chaos, the three of you fought your way out, freeing yourselves and the Loxodon janitor Hagon, but leaving behind another of the gladiators of your group, the lizard folk Ruik.
Yeah, no one's mad about that.
Ruik's a little mad about that.
Yeah.
At your parting, Khadija took to the desert, and you made your way to the docks. You managed to knock the guards acting as sentinels that were watching over the boats into the water, and absconded with a rowboat, making your way down the Nar to the port city of Shalheel. Don't you fucking dare.
Both hands are up here, Mark.
Uh-huh. Shun. Having been caught in your attempt to escape the Alam estate, you were sold back to your original slaver, Kazan, a gnoll with a red mane stained with the blood of each of his assets. You were taken to an auction where a band of dwarves adamantly bid on you. It would appear from the situation that Kazan and these dwarves had a somewhat previously made arrangement in which he seemed to have undersold your value to these dwarves. At this point, Shun, you have arrived at a mining operation a few miles north of Melkil, the home of the Alam estate where you previously served. The mining site sits near the coast atop a hill dotted with Claresian cypress and olive trees. You see, as you arrive in the caravan along with the other slaves and the old man, the sign Ilbir Mining Company Co. In the site, you see that there are quarters for the owners that are being built into the hillside. Most of it is already occupied and being used, but the construction is still ongoing. And you are led to these living quarters, you would call. You are placed in a room. It is locked. The salty air mixes with the cypress trees outside your cell, bringing with them freshness of a new kind of prison, but one less constricting than the strangling hold of Kazan's, at least for now. So we're going to start with Shun. You were in the caravan with the old man and a number of other slaves that they had purchased at this auction. Crossing into the mining site, You are led off of the caravan. Your manacles and the chains on your feet tightened once more, and led into your quarters. First night, nothing really happens, just you are led into this room. It's not as bad as Kazan's. You have a bed in the corner, you have a bucket for your needs, but you also have a desk and a table, and a chair. There's some paper. There's quill and ink for you. And there is a handbook, the handbook for the Ilbir Mining Company. Aside from that, a small window that gives you a view of the ocean.
I want to just quickly scan through the book, kind of get the gist of what is expected or what the contents tell me. If it's like this is a code of conduct, this is kind of the history, like whatever the book may be.
It's a adorned cover. It's obviously cheaply made, but the patterns are very much of the dwarves from Sagen, influenced a little bit by. Actually, make a history check real quick.
10.
10 will be sufficient. Mostly Sagen kind of patterns. You see soft curvature, Art Nouveau, essentially, kind of cover. You see the Ilbir Mining Company. They have operations all over the world based on what they're describing here. This particular site, you are mining for sultanite. Sultanite is a gemstone that, depending on the time of day and the source of light, it changes into various colors. From sultanite, you would know that this is a gemstone that's used primarily for royalty. It's very valuable. With a 10, I'll say that's all you know about sultanite. In as far as the code of conduct, there is a section for employees, and there is a section for slaves.
I'll read the slaves.
It's very, very short. All it really says is, do what you're told. And don't make problems, is the gist of it.
I understand. Simple. I like it.
You settle in for the night, and you hear something that you've not heard in a very long time. You hear a knock at your door.
A quick panic kind of wells up inside, thinking about the last time a knock would come, and usually the punishment that would be endured. Not so much a knock as a kick, but Shun will get up and open the door.
You see before you a gnome in blue vestments and a blue kind of like square-looking hat. And he kind of steps in. He's got a little notepad. Right. So you're the devil man. I have here your name is Shun. Is that right?
I am called Shun, yes.
Okay, good. You are called Shun. Fantastic. All right. Mr. Shun, have you perused the instruction manual already?
Yes.
Good. So we're on the same page.
Yes.
It's okay. You can laugh at the good jokes. All right. I hope the accommodations are to your liking. Anything we can do to make your Quarters a little better?
Could I get a few more sheets of paper?
More sheets of paper. Okay. Anything else for you, Mr. Shun?
Perhaps a key for the door.
I see why they've been so much on you. Well done, well done. Okay. All right, Mr. Shun. If there's nothing else, in a few hours, we'll be getting you your dinner. Have a good night rest. Tomorrow, you'll start in the mines, okay?
Sounds great to me. What was your name?
I'm Elver.
Elver?
Elver, yes.
Elver. Good to meet you, Elver.
Good to meet you too, Mr. Shun.
Hey, Elver.
Yes.
The old man. Is he going to be working in the mines as well?
The old man. He kind of flips through his notepad. We've got a few senior workers. Could you be more specific?
It was a long journey. Never mind. I am tired, Elver. I'm going to go to sleep.
All right, very well. Okay. Hope you have a good night's sleep. You're going to have a long day tomorrow.
Yep. Can't wait.
And he turns around and leaves. Closes the door. You have yourself a good night's sleep. You have a pillow filled with feathers instead of straw, which is very nice. Same with your mattress. Actually, before you sleep, another knock. A few hours later, another knock comes at the door, and this time it just opens. It doesn't wait for you, and you see Elver once more with a tray. He has a plate with assorted, mostly olives and figs, a little bit of cooked chicken, and some bread. And then places it there, and then he takes from his rucksack out a stack of papers and places it down. It's my understanding that you're a fan of stories, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. He steps out of the cell real quick and comes back in with some nicer vestments. Nothing fancy, but better than the tatters that you're currently wearing. And just kind of like hands it to you.
Thank you.
So tomorrow, after your day's labor is done, you have been invited to join the owners for dinner. Wear that. We'll make sure that you are properly bathed before then. And, they're expecting some stories, so...
Excellent. Do you happen to know anything about them or things that they enjoy? Is this sort of the same ones that brought me in here?
Yes. So the head of the operation, Brosmer Ilber, he's the one in charge of this particular franchise. The other partners, I don't know if you want to know all their names, but I could run through them. There's 5 of them.
And are they the rough and tumble sort? Are they just in it for the money? Are they particular into trade? Like what makes them tick, Elver?
Make a persuasion check.
A natural 1.
Well, they like gems. And profit is very important. And they like, and he kind of like tilts his head, eyes you, like looks you up and down. Interesting odds and ends, trinkets, and such. anything unique or different.
Okay.
Novelty. Shiny novelty.
Got it.
Anything else I can do for you, Mr. Shun?
No, thank you, Alvar. You are wonderful. I appreciate the food.
Enjoy. And he turns, closes the door, and you hear shunk, lock. And you are free to enjoy your meal.
As I'm eating, I'll take it to the desk and then start to kind of write out notes, thinking of like, what am I going to say? But then it turns more into, on fresh paper, almost like reciting a story to himself, a recipe. Reminded by the olives and this salty brine, something that him and his mother made back home, and just starts writing out a recipe, drawing out the best he can, what the plating would look like, until finally he finishes dinner and lays down.
Cool. All right. We're going to turn really quickly to Vagari and Sabhir. You have managed to get a boat. You cut off with Vagari's great axe the ropes holding the boat to the dock and start making your way downstream. Make an athletics check, both of you.
Hurry.
I rolled a 22.
So here, before you tell me your athletics check, make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom save is a 7.
Okay, your athletics check is done at disadvantage because of your fear of the water.
Ah!
Exactly.
Stop it!
He don't got them sea legs.
You guys got no legs. That's going to be a 13.
Okay.
24.
With Vagari's 22 and your 13, that'll be sufficient. As you guys are escaping, the guards that you knocked into the water, they've made it onto the dock, and they start firing arrows, but it's sufficient that the arrows are out of range. Because of the time of day that Khadijah managed to get you guys free, the sun starts to go down, and actually, no, sorry, it was the morning time. It was fresh in the morning time. My apologies. Yeah, you're fast enough to where you managed to kind of outspeed the arrows. Most of the guard is still handling the uprising at the arena, but you guys make it sufficiently out of the range of Muzbarak's sentinels and start making your way down the Nar. The scene is yours.
Where do we head?
As far as I know, away from those guys. And like, I turn. Do they look like they're kind of giving up since we've kind of gotten some distance from them?
As the arrows kind of like reach out away from you guys, you kind of like see that they turn to each other and then just run off the docks back into the city.
Okay.
You can make an insight check if you want.
Sure. I rolled a 12.
12 will be sufficient. It's pretty straightforward. They're probably looking for reinforcements.
Well, I think if anything, there's going to be more where those guys came from, and something tells me that with the city they came from, they have pretty big ships. So I think, if anything, we should try to go in a direction that they might not foresee us taking, but I'm not one for navigating. I literally have no idea where the hell we're going, so...
How about we just follow the stream? Let the current take us.
Yeah. I guess we could. It might be a bit obvious if they play catch up, but hopefully we have at least a far enough advantage at this point. Maybe if there's something I could paddle with, we could get there even faster. Can I look around for a paddle or something?
You have oars. You've been rowing with oars. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just I'm at this point just hulking it up, and I'm trying to row as fast as possible to try getting more distance from whoever might be coming for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So with a 22 and a 13, 14?
13.
Yeah, that's sufficient to manage to get some distance, especially with all the guards kind of dealing with the uprising. There's no one immediately available to chase you guys down the Nar.
Sweet.
And you do know that Khadijah had told you to sail to Shalheel.
Okay.
That's the best opportunity that you have to leave Al-Kut to escape.
And we know relatively where that is.
Yeah, I'll say that you know sufficiently well how to get to Shalheel.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a survival check, both of you.
That one was a 9.
And survival is going to be a 14.
Okay. Yeah, it's not hard. The Nar is pretty straightforward. There's a delta that occurs a few hours into your journey. There's a couple of break-off points. You would know that you need to just take the rightmost break and to just keep going right. That's the way to get to Shalheel.
Okay.
So it's not difficult at all.
I'm just rowing. Well, at this point, we should be getting to Shalheel any minute now, but speaking of which, what do you think's going to happen to Khadijah?
I do not know, but I wish her the best. She saved our lives.
Yeah, but at the expense of hers.
But have you seen how fast she can run? I feel like she can get away.
That's fair. I just don't know where she's going to run to. Between us, I've definitely wandered out into the deserts around here, and it isn't much prettier outside the arena. But you're right, I'm sure she can take care of herself.
I mean, she also has that bird. It's pretty savage.
Yeah. That's one way to put it. And I kind of look up in the air to see if maybe I could see the hawk by chance. Maybe he's following us or looking for us.
Make a perception check.
I got a natural 1. That cloud looks kind of like Khadijah's hawk.
You don't see clouds very often out here in the desert, so what were you looking for again, right? The clouds are pretty cool. Oh, look, the water's really nice and shimmery.
Look at that cloud there. It kind of looks like Khadijah's butt.
I mean, I would never know. It's not booked.
You can't fool me, Sabhir.
Speaking of that, you knocking over that guard. I mean, he's going to be chafing for weeks.
Oh yeah, well, he had that one coming.
Yeah, but I mean, did you see the armor he was wearing? Normally, cloth chafing is bad, but metal? Oh, that's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah, not too upset that I'm not that guy.
I'm not upset at you either. It was hilarious.
Yes, well, I think at this point we've gotten some distance. Do you need to take a rest or anything? I don't know how you're feeling, but you could probably just take a nap while I keep strolling down. It seems like the way to Shalheel is pretty self-explanatory at this point.
Yeah, I could do a rest. I mean, I feel fine, but sleeping is always peaceful.
Yeah, I just think with how they're going for reinforcements and with communication between cities, I don't know what we're gonna be coming up against. So it might be best to just prepare, just to be on the safe side.
Well, if you ever want to switch off, just nudge me.
All right, will do, but probably not. And I just keep just pushing along.
You continue rowing down the Nar. It's going to be a while before you get to Shalheel, like maybe a couple weeks.
Oh shit, well this is gonna take a minute then.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Feel free to sleep as long as you'd like, Sabhir.
Hey, you said you'd wake me up, so just
The
keep
further
rowing.
the further away that you get from Muzbarak, the foliage starts to become a little more dense. It's not like a dense forest by any means, but there's definitely pockets of areas where there are more dense shrub and palm trees, grassy areas that you're able to kind of like pull off to the side and kind of hide out for the night. So, as you are rowing down the Nar, we're going to jump once again through time because the events of Shun's are happening about a year before the events of what you guys are doing currently. Shun, we're going to jump back to you. The following morning, you just hear this sort of horn, this sound that wakes everybody up.
Okay.
You hear outside your cell a number of other doors kind of like opening and closing slowly. And then your door opens up. Elver comes in. Here's your breakfast. Be down in 15 minutes. And he kind of places it on the table, walks out, and leaves the door completely open as he continues to do his rounds.
Shun doesn't know whether to be more surprised at the open door or the food.
It's a simple breakfast. It's mostly bread and cheese. No meat this time.
It is a feast. And he takes it, cracks open the bread, sticks the cheese inside, and just begins to, piece by piece, eat as he looks around the threshold of the door. Sticks his hand through. Takes a step.
In the hallway, you see that there is a door opposite of you, and there's about 7 more doors in either direction. You're kind of in the middle of this hall, so there's like 14 rooms total in this one hall. And you see that people are starting to come out of their rooms. They make it to the end of the hall where there is a larger sort of doorway where you originally came in that leads into a larger hall that has 3 other kind of like quarters. For presumably 14 rooms in either of these. Amongst the people that are coming out, there's a variety of individuals, but they're all pretty much big and burly. You see humans, you see bugbears, you see half-orcs, there's lizard folk, but they're clearly individuals that are very muscular and made of stockier stuff for mining. As you step out and all these people are coming down, you see Elver kind of coming along with his notepad and taking notes. And he kind of looks up and be like, don't forget your safety vest and the pick. They're going to be at the proper exit. If you have any questions, let me know. And he just continues onward. Unless you stop him.
Elver, what is
Yeah,
a safety vest?
Oh, okay. Why don't you follow me?
Okay.
Yeah, just follow me. Okay. All right. So, and as you walk out of like these quarters and back into the main hall, you make it towards the end of the larger threshold. At the time that you had made it, it's pretty dark, so and none of the really lights were really up. They were just using kind of torches to get people, or more like oil lamps, I should say, not torches, oil lamps to get the most recent workers into the quarters that you were with. Near the entrance, you see that there are, on one side is lined all sorts of digging materials, picks, shovels, things of that nature. And then on the other line, there's just like essentially cloth vests that are like high visibility vests, and hard hats. We want you to be able to do your work properly, so just take one of those and one of those, one that fits properly. And then you're new today, so you're just apprenticing. Don't worry about grabbing an axe or anything, a pickaxe, but you'll get your assignment from the foreman when you make it down to the site.
This seems to be much more of a professional operation than I am used to. I have done hard labor, but there was never any safety involved. It was mainly just don't die. So do you have one that can accommodate these? Your helmets.
Ah.
Yes. Also, I'm pretty sure I stand out, being red. And these. So do I need the vest?
Well, the Ilver Mining Company definitely takes its operations seriously, and the well-being of its employees, indentured or otherwise, seriously. Wear the vest anyway. Company policy. I'll look into a proper helmet for you, because yeah, that's a bit weird. I'll have a word with the foreman.
Okay. I appreciate it.
All right. And he scribbles.
Is this everyone around us?
What do you mean?
Who the ones that came in with me?
When he goes through his list and he's kind of like checking it off, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. However, I appreciate it, and I will let you go about your business. I won't let you down, boss.
That's a good lad.
Okay, I'm going to go, Elver. I feel very awkward.
You are a strange one. Okay. Make yourself down to Site 1. You're going to report to... And he kind of flicks through... Carlo. He's very particular about the pronunciation of his name. Carlil. All right, there you go. Yeah, that's good.
Got it. I shall not make that mistake.
Good.
Carlil.
Yeah, he'll get upset. He's going to be in a blue vest, very long arms. Just ask him what your assignment is for the day. He'll handle the rest, okay?
Aye. Okay, I'm going to go find Carlil. Blue vested,
Good.
long arms.
Good.
Sight
All
one.
right, excellent.
And as I
try not to stare.
I think I can handle that.
Okay.
As I make my way, I want to make a perception check for the old man.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, you're going bye-bye. That's a 2. For a total of 5.
As you step out of the quarters, there's a big crowd. You're fairly tall. The majority of the people here are like dwarfing you. It's a little distracting because of all the people. They're kind of like, some of them are rushing to get to work. Some of them are kind of like talking loudly right next to you, and they're kind of shoving you, and kind of like some of them not even paying attention. As you step out you're not where your quarters are not necessarily at the top of the hill, but kind of further down on one of the other plateaus, and you can see before you the larger hill that the house that's being built for Brosmar and the other dwarves is under construction. And you see kind of like the beautiful view of the ocean, the Ardesian Ocean, off to the side. This deep blue, almost leaning towards teal. Clouds off in the sky and seagulls making their way across the landscape. Like I mentioned, the cypress and olive trees dotting the hillside, and then at the bottom in the center, a ways from the coastline, you can see kind of these tunnels at various levels along the hill. And you see people going into them with like the hard hat and the orange visibility vests. And you see some tents in the middle of the entire construction site where people are kind of like going to these tents and then going into each of the hills. Some of them taking these stairs built into the hillside, some of them taking some wooden ladders up to different caves that have been constructed into the hillside. A lot of people, big operation. No, kind of hard to determine who's who. Hard to see the old man at this point.
Okay. And I'll make my way toward one. Or
Okay.
what I assume is one.
Yeah. There are signs, and you can see basically some of the signs are numbered. There's 3 main dig sites, and then each of the dig sites, they have different levels. So the only thing that you know is that you're going to go to dig site 1. So as you make your way down through the crowd, you make your way to the tent, and you can see that in front of you are there's 3 main setups for entering the different tunnels, and there's one of them that's marked 1. And there you see somebody with a blue vest, hard hat, and very long arms, and they are also kind of like they have a notepad as well. And they're kind of like yelling instructions and stuff.
I'll make my way up, but not. I'll wait for an appropriate moment where they're not yelling and slinging the wrists, telling people where to go.
Okay. You make it up at a moment, and then there's a moment where things have kind of died down a bit, and he just kind of puts his extremely long arms on his hips, and just kind of is looking around.
Carlil,
Ah, you must be Shun.
I am called Shun.
Excellent. Right, and so you see that there's like a very distinct underbite, and like part of his lip is like ripped off, and his tongue just kind of like as he's talking, it kind of goes through like this hole between his teeth, and a little bit of slobber just keeps kind of going down. So he like, without really thinking, just kind of like wipes it all the time. But it's just very like, you see this little like sort of like his tongue snaking out of this little hole where like his tooth is missing and his lip is ripped off. Right, so you're one of the new guys. Fantastic. You ever done any mining before?
I've done hard labor, yes. Not like this.
Okay, fantastic. Well, you're the boss's pretty new plaything, so we're gonna give you some easy work. Don't worry, nothing like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. We'll be fine. You got some easy work today. All you'll be doing is making sure that you see those mine carts, and you see that there are there's various like tracks with mine carts that are like very intricately arranged between sites and levels. And make a straight intelligence check.
I rolled the wrong die. 4.
It's a little dizzying. you can't really make sense of what minecart goes to which hole and which tunnel, but you do see, you're distracted by the intricately, beautifully designed pattern that these minecarts are laid up in such a way. So instead of seeing kind of like the tree for the forest, you see the forest, and it's like this tapestry that's built along the hillside, very similar to the cover of the handbook.
Huh. Clever.
What's clever?
This is the book.
What do you mean?
The pattern of the I am here to work. I want to make sure I do a good job and don't get hurt. So I don't think it is relevant.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, they mentioned you were kind of a smart person. Right, so the bosses still want you to do your work, but they don't want you to get harmed, so you'll primarily be just taking... You see the stuff in that minecart? And you see that there's like... there's these buckets that are laid down by the minecart, and there's these people that are taking like the rocks, putting them into buckets, and then moving them off to a different site where people are kind of hammering them and taking the gems out of like the larger sort of rocks that have been mined from the thing, from the tunnels. Do what they're doing.
Okay.
So you just fill the bucket up when a minecart gets in, take it to the site over there, and hand it to people, and they're going to start taking the zoltanite out of the ores.
I will do this.
You can handle it?
I believe so. If I have any questions, I won't have questions.
All right.
Okay. I am going to go do my job now.
Yeah, go do your job.
Okay.
All right. Make a athletics check. Let's see how well you're doing with the buckets.
19.
19. Easy enough. Most people are kind of carrying one bucket. The much larger people you see are going actually into the mines. Here, there are people that are a little more of your sort of stature and build. Most of them are kind of carrying one at a time. You manage to, in some instances, carry 2 buckets at a time, and you're doing quite well. There's a few people that are a little older, and the group here looks like it might fit the old man a little bit. Amongst the people, you see that there's this gnome that kind of like carries a bucket over his head and just kind of like tries to waddle, and he falls over, and you see this bugbear with a whip, and he's like, "Hey! Get back to work!" and just like whipping this poor gnome that just doesn't get up, and he's like trying really hard.
Not wanting to make a scene on the first day. Will continue to do my work.
Okay. Eventually, with plenty of blood streaking down his side, the gnome manages to get back up and kind of like fill the bucket back up and runs to the site where he puts the bucket down and just continues to run. The guy with the whip, bugbear with the whip, is being pretty relentless on some of these other people that are just like, seems to really take joy in just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Keep it moving!
I would like to move closer to the bugbear with the whip and continue to do my job in his line of sight.
Okay. Roll a percentile die.
83.
For 83% of your work, everything is pretty fantastic. At one point, you do kind of trip on some loose debris, and you just hear, "Hey, pretty boy!" and you just feel this slash across your back. Not at all, like very, very soft compared to what you're used to. light work. This is a baby striking you with a tissue compared to what you're used to. Keep it moving, Hornhead!
Aye. And I'll keep working.
Gives you one more for the road and then just kind of like keeps observing. You bring the bucket to one of the sites, and the gnome that you see that had fallen and like got his side whip, you see him just kind of like sitting facing you, and behind him you see the old man that kind of like is like rubbing something on his back.
I was wondering when you would show up. Stuffing rocks into the bucket.
Well, I've been here.
So you have. How goes How goes the digging?
Oh, I'm not digging per se. The assignment that I've received is of a different sort.
I see. Well, I can say silver linings and all. They don't hit very hard.
No, that's good. Being under Kazan is not the nicest of experiences, is it?
I do not believe that word exists in that world. But here, I have been fed twice. I'm honestly feeling pretty full. I might throw up.
Well, don't work too hard, then you will throw up.
Yes. Where do they have you staying?
Oh, I'm got a special quarters. Someone of my abilities can't do quite the hard labor that you youngins can, so the more senior members are put on a different site.
Closer to the view of the sea, eh?
And the fish. Maybe not the best of all worlds.
The sun is pretty hot.
A little bit.
Okay, well, before we all get whipped and then we are having to take care of your back, let us go.
Good idea.
And I'll take my bucket and the gnome's bucket.
The gnome stands up with a strength that had not previously, even in the morning when they were fresh, showed. So, with a new, I'm trying to find the right word.
Vigor.
What?
Vigor?
Yeah, vigor. I like vigor. Thank you. With a new vigor, they continue to do the work. The day passes fairly uneventfully. You start to gain. Make a straight intelligence check.
10.
10. All right. Primarily focused on doing your task. Still an ever observant individual as you are, you do notice that there is basically 3 stages to the operation. There is bringing out whatever has been mined from the hillside. There is the removing of the Zoltanite or other gems, depending on which site they're being collected. And then they are moved to a different site that's behind the hill of where the quarters are. You don't know what that is, but that's where, like, once the gems are removed, and for the most part extracted, they're removed to a different site. And you see this pattern repeating. You do get a lunch break. Again, just cheese and bread, not a whole lot. And as the day starts to come to an end, you see Elver kind of walking around. There's 3 other individuals that are in similar vestments, and they're going to different foremans. Elver starts talking to Carlo, and Carlo kind of like whistles and calls you over. That one? Yes, that one. All right, Shun, if you would please go to your quarters and get changed, you'll be meeting with the masters soon.
Of course. And I'll make my way.
Cool. Let's cut here real quick. We're going to go back to Vagari and Sabhir.
I was just picturing Shun walking like the Zoolander scene when he's in the mines. Everyone's watching.
See what you. I haven't actually seen Zoolander. I need
So
to
good.
watch it. It's on my list. There are so many movies I haven't seen.
You've been working in the mines for a day.
Vagari and Sabhir. Make a general survival check.
General survival check.
17.
17.
I got a 12.
12. Make a stealth check as well.
Another 12.
9.
I rolled 2 16s straight with no modifier. Okay. With your survival checks, you are able to sufficiently fish for sustenance and feed yourselves, as well as forage on the moments that you kind of peer off the banks and are able to kind of rest on land for a bit. Traffic on the Nar is not very prevalent. People go up and down the stream. Stop it.
I'm not.
They go up and down the stream. But you do see that there are a few skiffs that have sort of more armored individuals. Every once in a while, you see a skiff kind of pass through. With those stealth checks, you manage to avoid most detection. But every once in a while, somebody will kind of spot you. Vagari, what's your AC?
14.
And Sabhir?
18. Well, 16 if I don't have my shield.
Okay. All right. We're going to go with, like, not your shield because that's your default would be not carrying your shield, right?
Yeah.
Or you tell me, what is your default?
My default is without my shield.
Okay. It's a bit of a tough journey. You do get shot at a few times and you get hit a few times, but your survival check is sufficient to manage to escape capture. You have to run off into the land every once in a while, kind of lose their track, and maybe abscond with a different rowboat from some of the settlements that are lined along the river. So through a series of heisting away, robbing some boats, but managing to elude capture, you continue to make your way down to Shell Hill.
How many times did we get shot at?
Roll a percentile die. Both of you.
100 times.
1,000 times. 76. Please don't tell me 76 times.
88.
Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do.
Maybe I just shouldn't have asked. I was expecting you to just be like 4.
Yeah.
Just the whole time, like, oh, yeah.
No,
It's raining. It's pouring.
here's what we're going to do.
And I just like Matrix style, like ching 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 ching.
Sabir, this is how you dodge ammunition.
Just turn around, I'm just completely pelted, like, oh, yeah?
The guy's in the Matrix. All of a sudden has really cool shades.
Where did the leather come from?
Spear's like, thankfully, my shield doubles as an umbrella.
Who can build the sunshine?
Arrowheads keep falling on my head.
They keep falling.
But now we're free. Sort of.
Starts tap dancing like in
Kicking the shore.
I'm singing in the rain.
Gene Kelly now. Can I just retract asking this question?
So,
I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2.
making your way down the Nar. It's on me!
You tempted your fate. You got what you deserved.
You say it 3 times.
He looks
and it happens.
defiled.
I feel defiled. How dare you on myself?
This is not consensual, Sabhir.
Whoa! I am so sorry.
Remember that percentile roll that you rolled, Sabhir?
88?
Advantage. I'm kidding, I'm joking. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do.
Hey, it's not me.
Both of you
Not
roll
me.
initiative real quick.
Oh
I just asked how many times you got shot at. I didn't want to get shot at now.
no. 11.
7.
Okay. Sabhir. This, a few days into the first couple of days, you managed to get away from Moose Barak scot-free. No worries. After that, there's this skiff that continues to go up and downstream as you guys are pulling off. Sometimes you're on the water, sometimes you're pulled off onto the side and kind of like hiding amongst the shrubs. Sabhir, you go first. You see upstream the skiff that's been chasing you guys appear from around one of the bends. What do you do?
Is this all because I
It-
asked the question?
No.
Okay, cool.
They appear.
Matt knows.
Shit. How big is our boat? Is our boat big enough to hold both of us?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah, it's it's big enough to hold both of you.
You ever seen a Leon's eyes? They're like doll's eyes.
You said it's big enough to hold both of us.
Yeah, your rowboat is big enough to hold 4 people.
Okay. In that case, could I try? And we know that they have spotted us, or they're like on the lookout.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Perception is gonna be a 14.
14. They have not identified you. They've spotted you, but they haven't identified you yet.
Okay, and there's like shrubbery by the there's like vegetation by the waters.
On the banks, yeah. It's
I
not
would
very big, but it's present.
Okay. I would like to take the rowboat and flip it over and then hide underneath it.
On the water?
Not on the water, like wait, we're on the water or we're offshore? I thought we were offshore.
You are currently on the water, but there are banks that you can choose to steer onto land.
Then okay. In that case, I will go ahead and take my spear out and just kind of lay it by my seat, and then start to steer towards towards one of the shores, because I'm not fighting on land. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not fighting on sea.
Fair enough. The skiff goes next. You see that there's like one guy he has a spear as well, and he's in like chainmail, and he kind of like looks like stands up a little straighter, kind of looks ahead and just kind of like eyes you guys. He says something and you see a second guy walk up with him. That's all that happens. Vagari, you're up.
How far away is the skiff from us?
Probably about 200 feet.
So that would be far enough away where they like can't, like, they see our like boat as an object, but they don't actually like, can they tell it's a boat and that there's people in it?
It's hard that Sabhir's, you've been seen, but you have not yet been identified as far as Sabhir can tell. So they know there's a boat and they know there's people in it, but they don't know who you are, as far as Sabhir is aware.
And I would have communicated that to Vagari as to try to make it too shore. If we can't get away.
Okay. I am going to. Let's see what's in my bag. None of these things are helpful. I am going. Are we by the like? Can I like easily hop out of the boat and like go toward the shrubbery, or is that like
you're close enough to the shore that you could like finish steering that way and kind of make it onto land? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna like steer the boat off to the side a little bit. We're still in the water, so if we need to like keep moving, we can. But I just like veer off enough to where I can like easily hop out of the boat and go onto land. And I'm gonna just start like caking mud on the side of the boat and like on myself. And like I'm gonna start like throwing like wads of mud onto Sabhir, and I'm gonna take like a bunch of leaves and just do this. And I'm just gonna be like, the shrubs all worked before.
Now we can be like a natural predator.
Exactly. Why? How is it you always read my mind, Duffin?
Well, we've been together for so long.
This is surely gonna work. Just watch.
Okay. Sabhir, your turn. What are you gonna do?
I would like to finish coating myself in mud like the scene from Predator.
Okay. Both of you.
And then hiding in the shrubbery.
Okay.
What the
Make a
fuck
survival
are you?
check. Both of you make a survival check.
Oh god. I rolled a 15.
Okay. You both roll survival sufficiently high. Roll stealth with advantage.
$19.
17.
We're really good shrubs, Margot.
19 and 17. You guys bring the boat off to the side. You get off, cover yourself in mud, kind of dig yourself into the shrub. Let's see how they do.
Shrub peace.
That's a natural one.
Wow, it's a really big bush.
The skiff
Nice bush.
makes its way where you guys
He's out of the bush like, thanks, I trimmed it. I mean, oh, shit.
The skiff makes its way. You see that it kind of slows down. The sails come down a little bit, and the rowing kind of slows down a little bit. You see that they pass the boat, and they're looking. And you hear them yell something indiscernible to each other, and then the rowing picks pace back up, and the skiff continues downstream. You manage to avoid this confrontation.
Oh my god, Davin. Why did we not think of this like 76 boats ago?
I do not know. I mean, this would have been way easier.
Yeah, I say we just do this the rest of the way. And I'm just like holding on to like my shrubs with like one hand and like trying to row with the other on.
Oh
Like
my
a
god.
swamp
Wait, you
person.
guys got out of the boat and hid in the shrubs, right?
No, we concealed the way that I imagined it was the boat was still in the water, but I brought it to shore enough to where I could like get out and like camouflage the boat, like coat it in mud, coat us in mud, and we're basically just like in the boat like little shrubs. So it's like a little mud island with shrubs on it. It already happened. We survived.
Okay. That is far more unreasonable, but fuck it.
Well, Vagari's
These
not very
guards are a
reasonable,
pair
so
of
it makes
frickin'
sense.
idiots.
The boat drifts. What?
The island is drifting
no,
away.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
That was
You-
funny.
Got him.
Sister, do you have an excellent idea?
And I will, before we push off, I will grab a lot of the vegetation and kind of plant it on the sides of the boat.
Okay, so you're going to try to camouflage the boat as shrubbery so that you guys can just pull off on the banks and just kind of like have an immediate reset to kind of be a shrub.
Only if we
Yes.
need to. Only if we need a shrubbery. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, make a survival check. Let's see how well you're able to camouflage this boat, and to set up a sort of like jerry-rigged like switch on to be like, all right, we look like shrubs.
This is the
As
best.
he's coating the side of the boat with these like bushes and shit, I'm gonna see like there's berries on one, and I'm just gonna be like, "Ooh, wolfberry, snack for later!" and like pop one in my mouth.
Wolfberries are grown in this area. They do grow in this area, so for sure.
Oh, hell yeah, nice. You said survival, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
you get the help action from Vagari.
All right.
I'm just eating berries over here.
Oh, then you don't get the help action.
Sorry, I would say I would help you, but
Priorities.
wolfberries.
It was a natural 20 plus 5, but now it's a 15. Damn you, Vagari.
But the wolfberries. They call it my name.
It looks like
Oh,
a
they
pretty
do look
decent
they do look
job.
delicious.
You think?
Okay. Sweet.
That's one.
So we now have a shrubbery.
We gotta do this 76 more times.
88. He rolled high.
Oh my god.
76. You know what? Just because I'm going to be obnoxious about this, let's do it.
This is the last time I ever ask a question.
82% of the time, you manage to avoid detection entirely. The other instances, we're just going to do 3 instances, is when the skiff is going to be running into you. You manage to
Okay.
avoid detection or identification this time. We're going to cut back to Shun for now.
Okay.
Just
I feel like it's just gonna get progressively worse.
munching on bread and cheese. Like, wow, it couldn't get any worse than this.
We finally show up to Shah Hill, and it's just the scene from Pirates of the Caribbean.
We made it.
It's Vagari, and she's the one that's like held up there, and you're just like on the very top, like curled up on the top of the
Yeah.
mast.
No.
Like, wait. Let me tell you something. Okay. Shun. You start to make your way back to the quarters. There's an area where there's what's it called? Oh my god. I'm blanking. What is when you pump the water out of like an aquifer and
The siphon?
like a it's not a well, it's when you have like a water pump.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Sure.
I feel like there's a specific word when you like, you know, you pump in the water in the ground.
I know what a water
I have
pump is.
siphon, but that's like it.
No.
Water
this
pump.
is-
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Old
fair
timey,
enough.
like.
Yeah, exactly, but I feel like there's
I'm sure there's a name for it.
There's a word for it, but I can't think of it.
A
When you
spigot.
dig into the ground and you hit an aquifer and you're able to pump the water, whatever.
Fracking.
There's an not fracking. This is not fracking. That's a whole different thing. Okay.
A pitcher.
There's this area where there is a pump and people are pumping water into these buckets and kind of like cleaning off and like, you know, getting the grime and the sweat and stuff off for the day before making their ways back into their quarters. You were given permission a little earlier in the day to kind of leave so that you can prepare for dinner with the rest of the owners of the Ilber Mining Company. You rinse off, I mean, unless you choose not to rinse off.
I'd rinse off.
The cold, very, very cold, like almost icy water feels very cool on your skin, especially from the heat of the day, although the temperature starts to drop as the sun begins to set off in the distance over the desert. You go into your room and you change, and then Elver comes back, kind of.
Comment.
Sean,
Yes.
you all changed? Are you decent?
As decent as I can be.
He opens the door. Okay, a little baggy on you, but that's all right.
I'm a little skinny. I need a few more pieces of bread and I should be good to go.
We'll definitely feed you properly. A little more.
I appreciate
like
that
you were-
greatly.
Cared for very well under your previous owners.
So what do you need?
Did you just have a stroke? You look like you just had a stroke. Are you okay?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Hope you have a good story. Let's go. When he kind of turns around and you make your way over the hill, and then over the hill where the tunnels are, and then up to the higher hill where the house is. There's this stairway that is built into the hillside and kind of goes up to the house. There's a arched entryway with 2 columns. All of this built out of the material in the hill, at least the groundwork. But you see that there's marble and other such stonework that has been. It's not native to this area. Actually, a lot of it you recognize it from places like Joskul, and like giant marble with black veins line the entryway, the arched entryway. You go in, and this red marble kind of lines the entire ground. This is all built into the hillside. There are large adorned carpets over the marble, and there is various statues. One side of this hall depicts. Make an intelligence check.
Natural 20.
Okay. One side of the hall has gold statues that are encrusted with various gems of a number of different individuals. There's placards kind of describing who each are. You see that these are the previous owners or operators, like main leader operators of the Ilver Mining Company. Along the other side, you see that there is a giant tapestry map of the entire world of Teslam, and various different gems, minerals, stones are marked all over, primarily Sagen and kind of like the north area of Zimnis. Some in Alkut, just like two of them in Alkut, one of them where you are, and the only places that don't have like a point marking them are Parviter and Konyowareki and Sainchi. Otherwise, Sage and Clarissa, Zimnis, and Alkut all are dotted with a variety of gemstones. Alkut the least, Sage the most, Zimnis kind of in between. You can infer from this, these are the sites of the Ilver Mining Company. You make your way into the main sort of foyer and then off to the right into the dining hall. You see Brosmer, the head dwarf, sitting at the head of the table, and he kind of stands up and goes, our guests of honor. Welcome, Shun.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Kazan spoke very highly of you. Please take a seat. And on the end of the table, it's lined up, and you can see to his right side is a very elegantly dressed human woman, and then every seat following is essentially a dwarf with their partner. You see, I'm gonna tell you real quick. It may not be relevant, so don't concern yourself with too much details. But there are 7 partners. Each of them have their romantic partner, except one person who's sitting alone. They are all dwarves, and some of them have... So Brosmar has, sitting next to him, a human woman in elegant dress, You see that the one sitting to his left, another one of the dwarven partners, there's a dwarven woman sitting there. Next to her is another one of the partners. He has sitting with him a human man, a very young, boyish-looking individual. Next to Brosmar's wife is another one of the dwarf, another one of the partners. Next to him is another dwarven woman. The following partner beside him has another dwarven man next to him. I believe that's everybody. That's Brosmar, 2 on this side, 2 on that side. No, I'm missing 2 partners. The last 2 dwarven partners next to one of them is a Yuan Ti male. And the last one next to that guy, is a female orc.
Okay.
And then you have the final seat at the opposite end of Brosmar.
I'm embarrassed to say that I've never been able to sit at a table with such esteemed people. Thank you.
Well,
I'll have a seat.
go ahead. Before you, the plate that you have is made of simple gold, and your cutlery is also made of gold. It is some of the most beautifully made like cutlery you've ever seen as far as dining material goes. Everybody else is made of marble. And you see that they have simple cups. You have a jewel-encrusted goblet for your drink. The table is empty except for a sort of streamer that goes the entire way, and there's a chandelier that overlays that lights up the entire room. As you sit down, humans, primarily humans, though there are a couple of elves and gnomes, they start to kind of flock into the dining room, and they start placing large plates of a variety of like fruits and vegetables and soups and meats and chicken and pork and all sorts of stuff just lining the table. You hesitate for a moment, and then over your shoulder, one of the servants starts kind of like putting stuff on your plate. And they go around and they start collecting items and kind of like puts things on everybody's plates. And you are given like a pile of food. So, Shun. And Brosmar grabs his goblet, a simple cup, this one made of wood. Raises it. Welcome.
Thank you.
So as I mentioned, Kazan spoke very highly of you. We were hoping you would regale us with a tale.
I would be happy to oblige.
Everybody just kind of stares at you, like all 14 individuals just kind of like, some of them kind of have a little bit of this guy, I don't know. Some of them are like looking at you expectantly with smiles. And you can definitely feel that the majority of them are just kind of like fascinated by what you are, your horns and your skin and all that.
Shun will start staring down, very embarrassed. I thought about what I would say to you while I was in my quarters last night. Of all the stories and the tales that I've heard and recounted. And I asked Elver about to whom I would be addressing at dinner. And I was reminded of a tale as I worked in your illustrious site here, the beautiful stones and gems in it. And it reminded me of a tale I once heard when I was a young boy in your school, where I hail from. And it was the story...
Some of the people kind of like look at each other and like kind of turn their head a bit. Real quick, Matt, you have the option to either tell a story. So you're just going to roll a charisma check, a persuasion check. If you come up with a tale, you get to roll with advantage, but I don't mean to put you like on the spot to come up with something. So,
I got one.
All right, I'm giving you the option.
I heard this story from a traveling merchant. He happened to be dining in one of the halls of our leader, a great Goliath, and the Goliath asked him for a tale. And as he traded his wares, he told about one story in particular. So you see, there was an old king, Venner. And this King Venner had everything. And what he didn't have, he ended up acquiring the better of. He would dine on the finest meats and get bored. It would start to taste plain, bland, lifeless. And so he would go out and he would find more exotic foods, and inevitably he would find something and it would satiate him for a time. He had all of the best wines, but inevitably, having the wine again and again, it would lose its flavor and its luster, and he would go out and find even better grapes for his people to ferment into better wine for a time. And he was still very just unhappy, unfulfilled. So Venner, he prayed. Something that he had not done in a very long time. And he prayed for someone to show him the finest material, the finest thing that would bring him pure happiness forever.
Some of the individuals at the table kind of start to lean forward a little bit. Some of them kind of give you like a little bit of a stink eye and just kind of like,
And time went on, and Venner, well, he continued to be rich. And Shun will stand up and take his golden goblet. He continued to be rich, and he continued to be unfulfilled. And this went on for a year, and 2 years, and 10 years. And then finally one day, a man came. And this man were in rags. Less finer than these. Thank you, by the way.
he lifts his goblet and just kind of nods.
I take a sip from the golden goblet and place it back down on the table and pick up one of the marble goblets.
It is a very sweet wine that you taste. Nothing that you like anything you've ever tasted before. It is not the best wine you've ever had. Well, maybe at this point it is. At this point in your life, it probably is. Maybe not your favorite flavor palette, but very good and fairly sweet.
And so he looks to the Yuan-Ti, who was next to Shun.
Next to Shun at the end was on your left or on your right?
To my right.
To your right, a human male.
Okay, then I take the goblet of the human male, one of the marble goblets, and I tip it and take a big swig. And I continue to make my rounds around the table. And so this man comes to the king, King Venner, and he says, I have come, sent by the gods, to find you your treasure. The treasure to beat all treasures. The treasure for your pure happiness. Will you come with me? And King Venner, he's not told anyone about this prayer that he made. And I set down the marble goblet, and I'll pick up a golden knife. No, he did not tell anyone, so he knew that this man, this lowly, rag-wearing man, was telling the truth. So he immediately got up, donned his finest cloak, warmest cloak, and he went on his way. And as the man is leading him out through the city gates, He tells King Venner, now this is going to be a long and arduous journey. We are going to travel for many, many, many weeks. It is going to be difficult. Are you sure you're okay with leaving your lap of luxury? You have a lot. You have most of the finest things. Probably the finest things. And King Venner looks at him very seriously. But I do not have the finest, the best thing. You will show me, and I will be happy.
That one of the dwarves kind of like leans behind and kind of like messes with one of the other partners, and he just kind of like shoves him off. Make a persuasion check with advantage at this point.
Natural 20.
Everyone is now enraptured with the story. There are people still like handling the food and moving things around, and there's a few belly dancers that have come in, and they're just like kind of side entertainment. All eyes are on you.
Pointing or putting the golden knife down, he takes a fork. And so they travel, and they come across a river that goes one way, another, or center. And he says, which way shall we go? Well, King Venner, we actually are not going to go anyway. We are going to go below. And King Venner has mapped up all of these lands, the finest maps, updated constantly. He wants to know his kingdom. He wants to know the finest areas of everything, and he knows this river. He does not know anything below. So he says, well, this must be a test of the gods. Truly, I am on the right path. And so they go underneath the water and come right back up. It's just the craziest thing. He's just made this king swim for about a minute. So the king is furious. Are you playing games with me? He says. No. This is part of the journey. Nighttime falls and the king is cold. He's now soaking wet. And the man in rags, he says, come, help me build the fire. We must get warm. And as they are building the fire, the king asks, well, how did you hear of this? How did the gods tell you? And so the man regales him the tale of how the gods came to him in a dream and said, you must travel to this kingdom for this King Venner, and you must show him the way to the finest treasure. And so it took him 10 long years. But he made it to King Venner. King Venner is listening to the story, getting warmer, more comfortable. And he smiles. Yes, I can feel it. We are getting close. And the man in rags says, okay, it's time to go to sleep. So they go to sleep. Days pass like this. There are more crazy adventures. He tells them that we must go through the wood. He goes through the wood like nobody's. It's just going through the woods. They are hiking, essentially. He says, we must go over the mountain. And they just hike up a mountain. And for 6 months, these two, side by side, traverse and talk. The king eventually tells him tales that he has told nobody about, starting small with how he once had the best wine and then it lost its flavor, and so he went looking for the better wine. He talks about the food and how it lost its flavor, so he goes looking for the better food, and then eventually he comes to how the people around him have bored him. They don't feel the same. He once had the best entertainers and the best court and the best women, but no one to ever truly feel like the best people.
Make a perception check.
20, dirty.
At this mention of the story, there's a couple of the like romantic partners of the dwarves that kind of like look down a little bit like ashamed.
Shun will and keep walking toward the head of the table. And as he gets toward the head of the table, and as they were nearing the end of their venture, the tallest mountain, he sees it. The finest thing, the finest treasure, sitting atop a dais. And as he goes toward it, King Venner, leaving his companion below, he says, No, come, we must get this together. We must get this together. You've shown me we cannot stop now. And the man says, I cannot go up. If I go up, travesty will happen. I am to lead you, not to be there with you. And the king, angry, I am the king! I have had the finest things, and I will have the finest things with you who has shown me. And so the man obliges, and he walks up the dais. The king grabs for the finest treasure, and the dais collapses. Both men holding on. The king has one hand atop the finest treasure, has lodged itself inside of the rock. But he also has his other hand holding the man with nothing, the rags-wearing man.
There are a few gasps.
Now, the king, King Venner, knows he cannot pull them both up and keep his treasure. He can either choose the treasure, or he can choose the rags-wearing man. Either have enough strength to let himself go with him, or let the one who brought him here go and die, but keep his treasure. The finest treasure. The greatest treasure. The thing that will make him feel fulfilled and whole forever.
Everybody's leaning forward on their chairs. They're kind of sitting out of their chairs, leaning forward, and just kind of like, what do you pick? You hear from the back of the room.
He lets go of the treasure. And the men down, until they stop. You see, the rags-wearing man was not a man at all. He was a god. He was the god who answered the prayer. And as they stop, the King Venner, he looks around, confused, knowing that he was about to have sudden death. And they are down at the gates of his kingdom. And he looks to the rags-wearing man, now a regal man just as himself, but even more glorious. The King Venner, he thought he had it all, and he looks at this god and he knows that there would be nothing in his life that would ever come close to what this entity had. But then he smiled. He did not feel the same emptiness. He did not feel this need and longing for things, for treasure. He had found something new. And the god from that day said, You will be with me always, Venner, friend. And that is where, so I have heard from this tale, the first friend was made. And now we have friendship. And he grabs the wooden chalice, drinks it, places it down. To my Venner. Proceeds to walk back and sit.
Well, that was quite the story, Shun.
Tusen takk.
No, thank you. Enjoy your dinner. Enjoy the festivities and the drink.
And he will eat.
The rest of the evening, make an insight check.
9.
there's a lot of sounds and the music is playing. This aroma of the food and the drink, the taste of the food and the drink is just fantastic. This glimmering of the jewels and the plate and just the majesty of it all is a little distracting to kind of read all the individuals. The conversation is a little too loud. But you see that at the head of the table, Brosmer is just kind of like, his eyes are very fixed on you. The human woman next to him kind of like leans down, whispers something in his ear, and he just kind of like waves her off a little bit. And just like he participates in conversation, but his eyes kind of always go back to you every once in a while. Dinner goes by mostly uneventful. You share in polite conversation with some of the people on the ends of the table, and then Elver comes back and takes you back to your cell. That was quite a story. It was beautiful.
Tusen tack, Elver. I must admit, I have missed being able to regale in tales, no matter how fanciful.
Well, I very much enjoyed it, and I think everyone did.
I am glad.
Have yourself a good night, Shun.
You too, Elver.
Roll persuasion with advantage. Or performance, your choice.
It's the same. 20, dirty.
Okay. Dirty 20. Now I want you to roll a straight persuasion.
8.
Okay. Persuasion 8. All right, cool. At this point, we'll take a little bit of break. Okay.
Here I go killing again.
Welcome back. Shun, you go to bed and you have yourself a nice, restful sleep. We're going to cut to Vagari and Sabhir. Y'all making your way downstream. I need both of you guys to roll initiative once more.
Initiative?
7.
7.
Can we
Which one of you
attack
has a
simultaneously?
higher dex?
You can die simultaneously with a 7.
I mean, combo wombo attacks?
Yeah.
Why are these so loud? Do you have to adjust the volume each time I change it to a track like this, Matt?
It depends.
For
on,
this combat?
depends on the...
Yeah.
This one, yes, but it depends.
Okay. I have an idea of how to prevent these things in the future. We'll deal with that later. Okay. So here in Vagari, you guys both rolled a 7. I rolled a 3, so you guys are going to go first. Going straight down the Nar, you see coming upstream the skiff once again rowing. You both go first. What are you guys going to do?
Well, it worked well the last time.
Do we hide? We hide.
Hide, but ready yourself.
I'll pull the oars in and just kind of like hide in the boat with my spear in my hand.
Okay, so you guys are going to pull off to the side or just going to let the boat float?
Is it daytime, nighttime?
It's daytime.
Oh,
Can we just do what we did last time where we like kind of pull off to the side, but like not
Tell
entirely?
you what, let's do this. Roll a d20. If it's 10 or below, it's nighttime. If it's 11 or above, it's daytime.
17.
It's daytime. But it's starting to get to... 17 is on the higher end, so we'll say it's starting to approach dusk.
Okay. Yeah, then we wouldn't really be hidden under the cover of night. So yeah, I would go with Vagari, and if you want to drift off to the
Like
side,
veer off a
again.
little bit so we're not
Okay.
so obvious.
Either of you give me a survival check. We'll see how well your camouflage is standing up throughout the journey. If like shrub and some of the shrub falls off, or some of the mud gets rinsed off from like going downriver.
You want both or either or?
One of you two roll a survival check.
Your turn, Sabhir.
9.
Oh, maybe I should have gone.
Your boat does lose some of the camouflage. So you both rolled a 7. What are either of you going to do during this turn?
If this doesn't work, should we board the ship?
How far away is said ship?
About 200 to 300 feet away. I'll say this as well. The place that you're currently at, the previous one, you were in like pure wilderness. Here, there's a small settlement that's kind of on both sides of the bank. There's no dock that's built, but there's a couple of buildings. There's some fishing boats. It's very, very bare bones, and there are some people. No Goliaths. A couple of Leonin, amongst others. Human
We pretend
dwarves.
like we are fishermen.
That's actually a pretty good idea. Are there Leonin near us?
Yeah, there's a couple of Leonin on either side of the banks. You see a female Leonin that's going down and kind of filling a bucket with water, a ceramic pot with water. You see an older gentleman, a fisherman, that's going down to fish. He's kind of actually bringing in the nets for the day as dusk is starting to approach. There's some kids playing higher up on the hillside as you look up the hillside, and you see kind of like some of the simple houses.
I take out my bedroll. Like, I'm assuming that's just a sheet. And I'm gonna like drape it over myself, kind of like a cloak, to the best of my abilities. And I'm just gonna pretend that I'm just like an old hunched over like a fisherman to try making myself not look so tall. I'm like, okay, I think this is kind of disguised, right? How does this look?
God, you are a genius.
And I will do the same. I'll take out a bedroll if I got it, or if I have a cloak myself, and I'll just kind of like hunch over the side of the boat with my spear and just kind of fake stab the water.
Good call, good call. I'll sit over here and pretend like I'm eating a fish or something.
Yes, they will never see it coming.
Okay, both of you make either deception or stealth checks.
Oh my god, I rolled a nat 1. That's great. Did you get a nat 1 too?
No.
Like brother, like sister.
If I roll a nat 1, we all re-roll.
Okay.
I seriously doubt that's gonna happen.
Oops. It fell out of the thing, so I'll re-roll
Yep,
it.
I'm too powerful.
It fell, jumped up, landed on 1, and then moved over to 7.
Damn it, man! It's all. Hey, I mean, if you like, they almost look the same.
Maybe just, like, saw off part of it.
Yeah.
It's Calabrian instead of Times New Roman. What are you talking about?
The
Comic
skiff
sans.
approaches, and you guys hunched over with your bedrolls and cloaks, just like going and stabbing. So here, as you go to stab like a fish to catch it, you kind of like lose balance a little bit. Your bedroll falls into the water, and as you go to overcorrect to kind of bring it back, you knock Vagari's bedroll off of her back, and the skiff is like right there next to you, and there's that moment where like time freezes. You guys are staring at the guards, and the guards see you guys, and it's just kind of like...
Immediately, I go, oh no, my disease! Don't let them see me, my disease!
Don't come close! It's very
You know that my
contagious.
skin is an insecurity! I like put the cloak back on quickly.
Vagari...
As you can see, she was once a leon.
The guards kind of stare at you. Vagari, you're gonna take 7 points of piercing damage.
What the hell?
Sabhir, you take 4 points of piercing damage.
All right.
It's your turn. What are you guys doing?
Do I see a source of gasoline or anything flammable on the skiff?
Gas. Make a perception check.
Hi, DM. I'd like to make a bomb.
Oh, how the turntables have turned again.
It's a 16.
Oh my god.
I'm not making a bomb this time, guys.
You see some unmarked barrels on the skiff.
Okay, I'm gonna take my chances. Did we roll for initiative?
Yes.
A 7.
You both rolled a 7 and I rolled a 3.
All right.
What are you doing?
I was gonna take my... I guess I would take my javelin. I was gonna take my javelin and rip off a piece of my bedroll and like tie basically just like a knot, like a ball on the front of it, and then take my torch and light it and then aim for the unmarked barrels.
Okay. So, throwing a javelin is itself an action. Tying something, which is an interaction with an object, is itself an action. Lighting a torch is itself an action.
Okay, plan B. How many people are on this skiff?
Well, before that, if we technically both rolled 7s.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so Sabhir could help me.
If the DM would allow.
Yeah,
such
of
a
course.
thing, then I would give my actions to have Vagari.
Yay!
So what are you doing to help Vagari?
I see what Vagari is trying to do, and I will go ahead and help fasten the bedroll.
Okay. And so, Vagari, you're going to take your turn to light the torch and light the bedroll that Sabhir is fastened.
Yeah.
Onto your javelin. Okay. That's going to give the boat another turn of attacks for you guys.
Okay. I braced myself this time because now I see him coming.
I rolled 2 natural ones.
There's the ones.
They have advantage.
They get 4 attacks.
Jesus.
Well, there's 8 people, but 4 of them are maneuvering the boat. The other 4 are able to shoot arrows. That's a 6 plus 4 is 10, and a 9 plus 4 is 13. So none of them hit you guys.
Yay!
Dodge!
Let's do it.
Vagari and Sabhir, it is your turn.
It's tied. It's lit.
Now I just gotta throw it.
I'll sit back and watch for now.
Alright, I got one shot at this, so wish me luck. And
Make an
I
attack
just
roll.
take my can he give me a boost of inspiration or of some sort?
No.
I know he's not a bard, but like, can he just like hype me up? Like, can he be my hype guy?
Go Vagari, go Vagari, go!
Would you like to encourage Vagari?
This is
I
what it's
really
all
want
come
this to
down for.
happen. I just want to blow it up.
See your target. Aim true. Just like you did in the games. I mean, you shattered the board, but you did do it. I mean, it didn't hit the bullseye, but you shattered it. You can do it again. I believe in you.
Make a persuasion check. You feel
13?
encouraged, Vagari.
Yay! So now can I roll with advantage?
No.
Damn it.
But
Well,
you
that
feel
wasn't very
really good
helpful.
about it.
You just feel really good about it. That's it.
Oh, thanks, Devin. You always know what to say. Okay, so then I literally just like take a step forward and thrust all my weight into like this throw, and I take like the best aim that I possibly can because I really need this to hit.
Don't you have reckless?
Make an attack roll.
I'm so nervous.
Reckless
Okay.
attack only works with melee.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
Alright.
it only works with melee.
Damn it. It was so close. It was on 17, and then it rolled over to a 3 plus 5, so 8.
Oh. It is not only with melee attacks. Never mind. So you can attack recklessly if you would like. Oh no. On a melee weapon attack. Yes, never mind. It is only with melee weapons. I knew I was right. Cool. You rolled an 8. That is sufficient to hit the barrel.
Really? I hope it's filled with gasoline. Watch it be rice. I'm gonna be so sad.
The barrel catches on fire,
Yay!
and you hear one of the guards yell out, "Ah! Our food! Put it out! Put it out, quick!"
Oh well, food, gasoline. At least they're distracted. Let's get the fuck out of here. And like, I get in the boat and like start to oar away.
So here, what are you doing?
If I still have my spear, how close are we to this thing?
They've closed the gap quite a bit. They're about 50 feet out now.
50 feet? I will load my crossbow and try to aim at like one of the anchor points of the sail.
That was way smarter than what I did.
Okay. One of the anchor points of the sail. Okay. All right.
My intelligence is 7, so this is on par.
It's mine's 12, but
There is no possible reason why they would have anything aside from the wood that the skiff is made out of. Gasoline?
Or something flammable. I was very specific.
lamp oil.
It could have been lamp oil.
Smoke powder?
Earthy lamps likely existed.
Children?
Yes, that
Lamp
would burn
oil,
the children.
but not. I said that there's unmarked barrels. That's all you know. With your perception check,
It could have been alcohol.
it could have been alcohol. Your perception check was not sufficient to discern all of the things that were there. Okay, make an attack roll, and here's what I'll
Okay.
say.
I mean,
The AC
technically
is-
it's a called shot.
Yeah, because you wanna drop the sail. You wanna fuck with the sail. All right. Yes, this is a called shot. So roll with disadvantage. Here's what we're gonna do. You need to hit a 14. Roll a 14 to hit. Now, when you roll damage, you need to roll a minimum of 5 points of damage to do it.
8 to hit.
Bloop, into the water. They're going to take their 4 attacks.
Is Sabir in the boat with me at least?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Have we made any distance since they got distracted?
You guys never left the boat, as far as my understanding goes.
As I'm oaring away and as they're distracted by the food, did that at least get us some distance away from them?
No. Because they're coming upstream. Because they had previously gone downstream past you from the previous encounter. Now they're coming upstream. You guys have to meet and cross them to continue your path.
Okay.
So, 3 of them are going to hit. 2 of them on Vagari, 1 of them on Sabhir. Vagari, you're going to take 6 points of damage. Sabhir, you take 4.
Okay.
They make their attacks, they close the gap. The boat is going to get its turn. It crashes into your boat. We're going to see... That's 12 to cause damage. Just 1 point of damage. Your boat skids off of it. What are you guys doing?
I think we're gonna have to jump ship.
Away. Well, is our boat still intact?
It's intact. I mean, it took a little bit of damage, but
because they're going upstream, we're going downstream, so we're still going away from them faster.
Potentially. What are you doing with your turn?
Well, Sabir, we can either run or we can hide in the woods like we did all those other times.
I will grab the torch that was lit to lit the javelin, and I will throw it at the sail.
Make an attack roll.
Stop it, man!
No.
Strength? Dexterity? What do you
Strength.
want? Strength? Not proficient with the torch, right?
Because it's an improvised weapon.
Okay. Then 17.
Okay. 17. The torch hits the sail. It begins to burn very, very quickly. I'll tell you what. Roll a d20. 15 or above, the entire boat starts to catch on fire, and all 8 people need to work together to start to put the fire out. 10 or above, you're going to draw the 4 people that are rowing and 2 archers to try to put the fire out on the sail. Below a 10, the rowers are managing to do it. Below a 5, it's the fire's kind of going to not really take very strongly.
Okay. 14.
14. Okay, so you managed to draw all the rowers and 2 of the archers out to start to put the fire out. That's your guys' turn. That's enough to distract them. They're gonna get an attack on each of you.
Well,
that's a 3.
Amanda, did you go?
Oh,
I'm just rowing as fast away as possible to get away from them.
yeah, you can use your action to dash away. Yeah, that's fine. One of them is going to hit Amanda. Vagari, you take 5 points of damage.
Okay.
But because of the distraction, you're able to get away. You see the skiff make shore. Villagers start to come to help to put the fire out, but you manage to make your escape.
Thank God. I was really starting to like this boat.
That was close.
Yeah. You had an excellent idea, and I really liked it. I thought it was going to go up in flames. But
That's what I thought too, but I guess I didn't account for the fact that they wouldn't care as much about their food as I thought maybe they would.
Well, now they'll starve on the sea.
Yes, if they don't burn first. Do you think that I could cash in on that rest? I'm really not feeling that great.
You should have been long rested for this fight.
It wouldn't have mattered. I need another one.
Okay. Yeah, you guys
Of
are able to
course.
long rest in between each of these combats.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will take over.
Fair enough. We're going to cut back to Shun. Shun, you are sound asleep in your bed. Make a perception check at disadvantage.
Six.
Okay. In your dream, what are you dreaming about? What is Shun dreaming about here?
Shun is dreaming about the breakfast and being in the kitchen plating it and giving it to a certain someone.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know who. All right. In your dream, you are plating the breakfast that you had earlier that morning. You adorn it, and you place it in front of this individual. They get up, and they embrace you, and they start to kind of like move their arms like under you and bring you into this embrace, and they kind of like kneel down a little bit, and they start to like wrap an arm around your leg, and then you are awakened by this giant orc just pulling you by the leg, slamming you onto the ground off your bed, and then you see Brosmer there in his vestments. You think you're fucking funny.
Not particularly.
Smart man, huh? Smarter mouth.
I've been told.
He kind of like the orc grabs you by the shirt, pulls you. Well, do you wear anything to bed? Are you like shirtless or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. He like grabs you by the shoulder, pulls you up, punches you, and slams you down into the ground, back down into the ground. The air escape, like your lungs just go completely empty, and you like cannot breathe.
I was wondering where the hard hitters were.
Really don't know how to keep your mouth shut. He goes again. Bam! Slams you back down into the ground, and then grabs you, picks you up, and slams you up against the table.
I am nothing but a storyteller. This is what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that was a lovely story. Lovely story. I invite you into my home here. Feed you, entertain you. And that's the story you choose to go with. He nods, and the orc just bam slams you across the face. Just like
You know, I bit into an olive pit earlier. I think you helped get it out.
the orc grabs you by the shoulders, knees you in the stomach, and you are just like left on the ground on your knees. Well, don't you worry. You're not a storyteller anymore.
Good.
And then he leaves. A couple of servants come in, and they take everything out of the room. Everything. Nothing is left. The door slams shut, is locked, and you are left for the remainder of the evening with silence and darkness.
Shun will pick himself up as best he can, probably more so crawling to a corner. Just like many nights when he wasn't chained by his wrists. Back against the wall, knees tucked up, and staring at the door until he falls asleep.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw. DC 14. DC 10.
21.
All right, you are able to get a full rest.
Thank God.
Yeah, I didn't roll any damage, but you're basically on 1 HP after that.
Yeah.
The following morning, you see you're awakened by the sound of movement outside your door. Your door, however, does not open. You can stare out the little bars that are on your door, and you just see Elver there, just kind of like, directing people and all that, and making checks. And people are going in and out, like getting ready for the day.
Just sits there.
After a while, most people are kind of like out. You see the old man walk in. So, no work today?
Doesn't look like it.
Looks like you had a eventful evening.
Everything I deserved and more.
Well, maybe I can be of assistance.
Do not waste your talents on me, old man. There are people out there who need it more. This is nothing. This is normal.
Well, while that may be the case, I think you're also still deserving of some of it.
That is where we will have to disagree.
Well, I'm an old, stubborn man, so don't you worry. I'll see what I can do for you.
Your fate is your own.
It surely is. More than you know. And he'll turn around and start to leave. For the rest of the day, you are not fed. You are not given anything to drink. The sun goes down and people start to make their way back into their cells. As you start to kind of doze off that evening, the door opens to your cell. Nobody comes in. There's no sound, no movement, nothing.
I'll just sit and wait.
As you lean out to kind of look, you see that the main entrance door to the entire section is also open.
I'll get up. Listen. Do I hear anything?
Make a perception check. Let's see how much you hear.
19.
The gnome that was the previous day getting whipped, you hear his voice kind of crying out a little bit in pain at the entrance. Just like calling for help.
I'll make my way.
As you make your way out, you see the same bugbear with the whip just non-stop, just slamming the shit out of the gnome.
Okay. And I'll charge him.
Okay. With a strength that foreign yet familiar, Make an attack roll.
Any
I'll
bonus?
say you get advantage because he's not expecting you.
Okay.
Straight d20. We'll call this. Add your. You're gonna shove him. You're gonna charge him. What are you doing?
Like shoulder down into the ribs, like as he's leaning up to.
All right,
to
it's
whip
gonna be
down.
a strength. It's gonna be a strength attack. You can add. Yeah, it'll just be. Call it an athletics check.
Okay. Then 13.
13. I'll say 13 is enough to like shove him.
Okay.
He falls down and 3. He can't grab hold to like the end and he just kind of rolls down the hill down to the dig site. The gnome kind of gets up, looks at you, and just like runs off. As you look down to the dig site, you see that the bugbear is kind of like up looking at you and then just kind of like throws the whip down and just does this.
Okay. And I'll make my way down.
You make your way down. The bugbear kind of like cracks his neck, cracks his fists, and then he just like starts running to you. And just as he's about to slam you, like he stops midair. He like takes a leap and just stops midair. And the wind that you were feeling and the hair blowing just like stops. Everything goes still. The sound of the ocean waves lapping up against the shore, the crickets chirping in time with the temperature, everything goes silent and still. And then you just hear this like shuffling behind you. You really are a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
It is what I deserve, old man. What are you? You tell me what you are right now. No more games. I'm tired of this. Just let me die if you are the one that is holding me here.
Well, I'm afraid I can't let you die. Not when you still have a debt to pay. And you see him, his like the tattered clothes that he's wearing just kind of like flourish around him. And before you, in like a long cape with adorned black and silver armor and a black helmet, is the warden.
No.
No, you're not done. You're not done, friends. You still owe me a debt.
I did what you asked.
No, you did not. I told you to prevent the escape of my prisoner. You killed him. Now, I don't know if you know a little something about demons, but when they die, they go back to their hellish plane. You've not just allowed a freedom, you've allowed them to completely escape where I had them held. Back to start over.
Well, I guess me and the demon have something in common. We keep going back to where we belong. And apparently mine is in these prisons. Just look. I obviously am not what you are looking for, so just let me serve out my sentence until they kill me. And let me be done with this.
No. You are exactly what I'm looking for. And I'll even do you a favor. You owe me a debt that you will pay. But I'm going to give you something in return. And he snaps his fingers and suddenly manacles appear on your wrists and around your ankles. You feel the vigor return to you that you had previously when you were in the warden's prison. I'm going to bestow upon you some gifts. because you're going to do this for me, but I will give to you the things that you want. I've told you before, I see the strength inside you, and I see a great hunger and answers that you want. I'm going to help you get those answers. Justice.
Fine.
So I'm afraid you have no option. Now, my suggestion, don't worry, we'll be in touch, is run.
What?
And the wind suddenly starts again. You turn, the bugbear like goes to slam you, gets like an inch within your face, and you just see this blast blow him back onto the ground. He slams, skids across the ground, and rolls a little bit, dead. And the warden goes, "Run!" And he shoots off another blast, and it hits like this bell, and it just starts ding, 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 this like loud bell, and you see the hillside start to light up with flames. I'd go that way. And he points to like a boat, and you see the guards start to come out and look at you. And as you turn back, the warden is no longer there.
Fucking guts. And I will run as fast as I can.
You manage to run into the night as the lights start to illuminate the dig site. You manage to get a boat and sail your way up the coast a lot northward. As you start sailing, the old man appears. A few hours into sailing, the old man appears in a boat beside you. Here's what we're going to do.
If you're going to continue to come to me, do not come as the person that I thought you were. Come as who you are. It is annoying.
He turns into his like 10-foot self once more. The boat starts to tip and like take on water.
Oh, can't be smaller.
And he goes back into his old man form.
Balin.
I've made a bargain. I've made a deal. Not one that I am too happy that I needed to partake in, but one that is necessary. You're going north. You're going to Shalhil. I will send you to a lion. Be sure to stick with them, okay?
A lion? Do you want me to groom it? What? Feed it?
Stick with the lion. The sister I don't care about, but stick with the lion. And then he disappears.
The lion. It is another story to tell. 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 Just keep rowing. Just keep saying.
Over the next month and a half, 2 months, make a survival check. You get advantage because you're a fisherman.
10.
10. You're able to sustain yourself off of the sea life here. You're able to come ashore, get some forage for olives and wolfberries and figs, continue to make your way north, where you come across a small fishing village near Shalhil. The powers that are gifted to you by the warden allows you to transform into the shape of the old man. Here's a small fishing village where you can kind of take your time.
I guess what I would do first is, as the old man, procure some garb. Nothing fancy. I might even take it off lines and stitch it together. Like, just make me look like someone who doesn't want to be looked at. And take just enough fish to do some selling. like for like an hour or two, get what I need, go. Just back and forth.
All right. You set up for over the next few months this habit. You kind of come into this village, this small fishing village on the outskirts of Shalhiel. Not a whole lot of questions, not a whole lot of interactions, but you're able to sort of start to make a little bit of a living fishing and going into the Shalhiel markets, into the bazaar, and selling your fish, selling your wares, and daily in and out, keeping an eye out for this lion of some sort. Now we're going to cut to Vagari and Sabhir. Over the next few weeks, you sail downstream towards Shalhiel until you make it to the city. We've done 2 of the encounters out of the 3 that I said that we will be having. The third one is going to be contingent on how you guys manage to navigate yourselves around Shalhiel. As you make it there, you see that there are posters, like wanted posters. There's a number of gladiator slaves that you recognize, and there's one for Khadijah as well. You also see wanted posters for both of you.
Is Ruick on there?
Ruick, make a perception check.
Perception is 15.
15. There's a few lizard folk. None of them are Ruick. So, as you're sailing down into the port city of Shalhiel, there is a two large stone pillars. They're about 70 feet tall, 40 feet wide, and they have a sort of incline and a flat top. Incline on both sides. Atop each one, you see stone sphinxes. This is kind of like the gateway in and out of the city. It's not a walled city, but it's just denotes kind of the entrance to the city on the river. Before and after that, there are docks, and as you cross it, these docks get larger, more elaborate, and larger vessels are kind of stationed at each of these locations. So you can get out of the boat before or after passing this area. Traffic here is a lot more dense.
I feel like it would be best for us to stay in the boat for as long as we can and like try to stay concealed in the boat since there's wanted posters everywhere.
We could try to sneak by another boat, grab material, cover ourselves like we did the bedrolls, and then make our way in.
Yeah, we can try that, but let's try to get stuff that'll maybe make us look more like everyone else. The bedrolls, I think, was maybe a bad call.
No. Well, it was the best we had.
Yes,
now.
that is true. But opportunity struck, so let's try to take advantage. And so, I guess, is there a boat or something nearby that has like materials that we can pull from easily?
For sure. Along the banks, there are people who have some clothes that they've washed in the river that they're leaving out to dry. There are people who are fishing. You can take materials from their fishing stands, their fishing boats. There are individuals that are sailing in and out of Shalhiel. Some of them going upstream, some of them coming back downstream. A lot of merchants. So it really depends. There's a number of vessels to pick from that you could pilfer from, and like I said, the people that are washing clothes on the sides, on the banks of the Nar.
Okay. I try to find like either a hat or a hooded garment or something, and as we're like sailing through, can I just like reach over and like kind of like stealth pick it off while we're going down.
Make a sleight of hand check. You have to beat a 13.
Well, I didn't do that. I got a 5.
All right. You grab these 2 cloaks that are on the side. This guy turns around and goes, "Hey, hey, hey!" And you just start rowing away. They stole they stole my robes. They stole our cloaks. Make an athletics check.
17.
17. All right. You manage to row your way out of range, and he kind of like runs. You see him kind of like run off the bank somewhere. You lose sight of him behind some shrubbery. You manage to cross the 2 large structures with sphinxes affixed atop, and get to an area where you're able to tie off. Are you guys going to sail all the way to the ocean, or are you guys going to make your way into the city?
What do you think, sister? Face it on the open ocean, or here?
I would say open ocean seems a lot better than here where everybody wants to kill us. But we're gonna need a better boat. So I don't know if there's a port nearby where there are larger boats. Maybe we can just sneak on one or take one when no one's looking. I don't know how these things work. I'm not particularly the best sailor myself, but I think that that's our best bet.
I mean, but look at our record. We're like 56-0, so it should be fine.
Yes, but Sabhir, there is a difference between sailing in a toy boat down a river and sailing in a toy boat in an ocean where there are 50-foot waves.
Fair. I would not like that. Yes, I've
never personally been in the ocean, but I've heard stories, and they never end well. Particularly from a man named Jonah.
Sabhir.
Yes.
I would like Shun and Vagari to take off your headphones, please. As you're having this conversation with your sister and you're kind of like fighting and figuring out where to go and what to do, you see a massive sort of crocodile's head appear out of the water. It looks albino, like it would be an albino crocodile, but also a little translucent maybe. And you just hear this voice in your... It's not so much a voice as like an intention. It's indicating to you, find the horned devil. Find the 4-horned devil. Go into the city, find the 4-horned devil. And like everything kind of goes quiet as this giant crocodile is just staring at you in the eyes. And as it submerges, like it's like you're sobered from these thoughts.
I think we should go inside, or into the city.
Into the city. Did you not hear anything I just said?
I did, but I do not believe that we should try the ocean for now. I understand the bigger boat is necessary, but
is this like a materials thing or something?
No, just a feeling.
Well, I trust you, Devin, and I start to look for a place where we can tie off and, I guess, get out without maybe being super obvious.
Okay. You manage to find a place to tie off, and you get up onto the dock. A dockmaster comes up to you all and says, "Right, welcome. It's just a regular human in some simple brown robes and straw hat. Welcome to Shal. May I get your names, please?"
Jonah.
And
Can.
Vagari make a deception check. Sabhir, make a deception check with disadvantage.
Oh no! It was a 6!
13.
He kind of eyes you and like writes it down, but is kind of like, Jonah can.
Look,
No,
we didn't choose our names. Our parents did. Okay, cut us some slack.
You have the same parents?
Yes, this is my brother. We're adopted. Any more questions about our personal lives?
And he kind of like gives you a little look and then just kind of, no, you are welcome to proceed. Welcome to Shalheel.
Can I tell that he knows who we are?
Make an insight check.
I rolled a natural 1. Oh, well, thank you for believing my story.
You fooled him. You fooled him like so
I
great.
fooled him like no one's ever fooled anyone before. That's what they all say until they get swallowed by a whale.
A ruse, you say? As you guys make your way off the docks and into the city proper, you guys just hear from behind you, "Hey, you! Stop!" You turn around and you see the man, the dockmaster, with 2 guards. And as you turn, they kind of like look at you and they look down and you can see that they're holding your wanted posters. You go, "Stop right there!" Roll initiative.
9.
I swear to God in heaven, stop rolling off the natural 20 for a 21.
It's an interesting time to roll a nat 20.
All right, the guards rolled a 13. Sabhir.
What are my surroundings?
Okay. You are at the end of the dock where the wood meets the stonework of like the dock proper, and that leads into the city. There are a lot of dock workers around you, people that are unloading and loading things on and off of ships, and in front of you, where you were walking towards, about 20 feet, is the entrance to the dock area. You see that there are merchants going in and out. At that entrance, there are 2 guards that are stationed, and they are still unaware as to what's going on, but when the guards told you guys to stop, they're kind of like starting to turn, but they're still kind of like in that in-between moment. There are ships on either side, and then going into the city, you see that the streets are kind of narrow. There are storefronts that have these oh my god, what's it called when they have
Canopy?
yeah, thank you, canopies. And you see that it gets kind of dense with people. That is what your surroundings are primarily.
Okay. And if the guards and that dude are facing us, is there any, like, since we're by the docks, is there any, like, crates or anything with, like, open crates with items in them or anything like that?
Yes, there are definitely crates with all sorts of goods. Some of them are open. Some of them have, you can see, like, textiles and food items, cured meats, some ceramics. Others are closed and you can't really tell. There are barrels and there are crates.
Is there any, like, large stacks or anything? Like, huge stacks of those?
Yeah, there's a few places where they're stacked up one on top of the other.
Then I would like to run over to it and grab the giant stack and basically throw it either that way it falls on them or it falls in their way. That way, that something to block their passage is what I'm trying to accomplish.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Make an athletics check.
11.
11. That's sufficient to knock everything down. That's great. The guards are going to go. They're going to chase you. They're going to do an athletics check. Well, let's see. Evens, they warn the guards that are ahead. Odd, they're going to try to just chase after you and get to Vagari.
Gotcha. When I do that, I was hoping to use the rest of my movement to get back to either Vagari and just basically start running.
You should be able to do that.
Okay.
So, even. They yell out to the guards. They close the gap to you and Vagari. Vagari, your turn. What are you doing?
I would like to use my action to dash, but I want to start dashing in the direction of the crowd because I feel like that would be an easier way to lose them if we get lost in a crowd of people.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You run into the crowd, make a stealth check.
Get out of here, window. 7.
7. Let's see here.
Probably not very good.
13, not sufficient. They are able to chase you down.
Can I just, like, as a bonus, get my axe ready in case I need to, like, use it?
You can draw your axe as a free action. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, Sabhir, back to you.
I start running towards Vagari, and if there's any guards in the way, I will try to. I'll try to use a tripping attack or something.
Okay. There are 2 guards that the other guards kind of warned those guards beside you. As you both run, the guards are going to take an attack of opportunity on either of you. God, I'm rolling like crap. The other 2 guards are going to turn to make attacks on you. Still not good enough. I rolled 2 4s, a 2, and a 7. Okay. They're going to close the gap. Vagari, you're up.
I'm gonna just keep dashing through. I don't know what the, like, area looks like within our vicinity, but
Okay.
if there are corners, like, I want to cut corners. I want to, like, dodge in and out of people. Like, I'm trying to just...
There's plenty of things that you can do to kind of hide. So basically, here's what your options are. You can either try to strike the guards to, like, fight them off, try to, like, dispatch them. You can try to hide, or you can try to extend your lead. So one of them, hiding just lets you kind of like duck in and out of places, into shops, behind barrels, whatever. You're able to kind of like cut line of sight. There's plenty of opportunities to cut line of sight, but you need to successfully hide in order for them to like run past or whatever. You can choose to widen the gap to get further away, and that'll allow you to hide more effectively, or to kind of like find opportunities where you may be able to escape better. So those are the 3 options that you can take on each turn. So which of the 3 are you doing? Hiding, attacking, or increasing the gap?
I'm going to try cutting a corner and hiding.
Okay, make a stealth check.
I rolled an 11.
11. All right. You dash into this corner, into this side street. You bump into an individual that's like carrying some jugs of water. One of them falls and breaks, but you're able to run past, and there's a storefront that sells like textiles and clothes and stuff, and you're able to duck in there. What'd you roll for your stealth?
What'd I say? I have a 9 on my die, but I don't know if I moved it. Did I say 9 or 11?
I think you said 11.
11 then.
Okay. That's Vagari, so actually they can't do the perception check yet. Sabhir, you're up. What do you want to do? Fight, hide, or extend the gap?
Okay, so the guards are now behind me, right?
Correct.
I cleared them because attacks of opportunity have happened.
Correct.
Okay, in that case, I would like to extend the gap and just keep running through the crowd.
Okay. You continue running through the crowd. There are the brown and sort of beige colors of the walls of the alleys here, adorned with various blue and white canopies and red canopies and and fruit stands and stuff like that. Make an athletics check because this is a fairly busy road. Let's see how you do dodging people to widen that gap. 19. Okay, so now the guards are going to go. They're going to perceive for Vagari. That's a 5. You're able to stay hidden. They're going to see if they can catch up to you. You rolled a 19 on athletics. They rolled a 12 on athletics. So you are able to widen the gap. So here, as you are running and these alleys are passing by, in one of them, you catch a wisp of something, this ethereal sort of looking creature, and just points in a direction. We're going to stop here for a second, and we're going to cut back to Shun. Shun, over the last few months, you have made a sort of... Home is a very strong word, but you've been able to live in this village, coming into town every once in a while to sell your wares, to sell your fish. What does your stand look like?
So, if someone were to come across this stand, what they would see are 2 nice, proper stalls selling various meats and their fish and everything. And then in between is this hooded figure. Can't see his face, very shadowed, covered up. You see this pale skin from his hands, no shoes, just has, pale feet. And you see a makeshift rack holding some salted fish, some cured fish, and a sign that says, "Pay what you can." And he just sits, doesn't talk to anybody. It's there. They could take it. They could leave money. It's happened on more than one occasion. But he just sits.
All right, cool. That's what we're seeing. So, back to... So here, you did yours. The guards have done their thing. Vagari, you are hidden. You see your brother run past and continue running. What are you doing? Are you going to remain hidden? Are you going to wait for an opportunity to attack the guards as they chase? Or are you going to catch up to Sabhir?
If I were to leave, but steal clothes from this textile shop, because I'm assuming they have some, would that increase my stealth? Because the guard saw me in something earlier that was different?
Potentially.
I don't trust you, DM. I'm not falling for this one. How many guards are there? Do I know?
Right now there's 4 chasing.
I'm going to try sneaking out the side or the back, and I'm going to try to find Sabhir now to assist him.
All right, make a stealth check.
Yay, I rolled it. A natural 20.
Easy enough. You are able to swipe some additional textiles of varying colors as opposed to the brown cloaks that you stole from the riverside. And you make your way out. You see Sabhir off in the distance, just like hauling ass down the street, and the 4 guards passing right before you, chasing down Sabhir. Anything else you'd like to do?
Can I use my movement to just kind of run to catch up with him, but like maybe keep a distance from the guards?
Okay. Here's what I'll say you can do. Make an athletics check. Yeah,
Natural 20. For
Okay.
25.
Back to back.
I just like leap over everybody. Like I'm flying.
The $1 million
You
man
have-
sound like pop, 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 pop.
You have the option to run straight past the guards to catch up to Sabhir, which will blow your cover. You're able to either take some side streets to try to intercept where Sabhir will be. That's risky. Or you can try to climb up on some of these buildings that are 1 to 2 stories and just run along the roofs. What are you doing?
I'll run her along the roofs because I don't think anyone will be up there.
Okay. You take your action dash. You're able to climb up one of the ladders that leads up to one of the roofs and start running along the roofs. Sabhir, what are you doing? You are still in full sight. The guards are chasing you.
I think seeing that wisp in this time would probably catch me off guard, like how you would walk past somebody and maybe see a shadow person from time to time. I think I would clock that to kind of shake it and then just kind of like do the whole back to forth, and then what I would like to do is I would like to still run but make a break for it to where I can come back to that area. So maybe like do like if I were to run straight, take a right, take another right, and take another right.
So double back.
Okay.
Yeah, double back.
All right. Are you going to do this? Or you use your action to dash to do it, in which case it's going to be like trying to outrun the guards? Are you going to try to do this stealthily to like break line of sight with the guards?
Well, they still have line of sight on me, right?
Currently.
Yeah, so I would like to try to outrun the guards.
Okay, so athletics check. So you're not going to be stealthy regarding where you're repositioning. That's fine.
No, yeah.
All right, make an athletics check.
Natural 20!
Yay!
3 in a row!
What is
Yo.
going on?
What up?
All right,
Natural 20 for a 25.
the guards rolled a 14. You outpace the fuck out of them. You see the alleyway where you saw the wisp. There's no wisp there, but you see the alleyway clearly. Vagari,
Okay.
as you... So here, you run straight. You kind of make a C to double back into that alley. Vagari, you need to take the time to catch up, having climbed onto the roofs and starting to like follow through. When you make it to that intersection, you see Sabhir start to go down that way. What are you doing?
Can I like assist him because I have kind of like a bird's eye, so I can see like where the guards are going, where he could hide to like get away from them?
Yeah, for sure. How do you help him?
I guess while he's doubling back.
I'll say this actually. Make a perception check.
Okay. That's a 22.
22. You can see the alleyway that Sabhir came from. You can see that the guards are from the street over starting to reach that alleyway because you're on a 2-story building. There is a 1-story building between where you and the guards are currently. 3 of them have made the intersection and they're kind of looking around looking for Sabhir. There is some stuff that is obstructing their view to where Sabhir is currently. What you can do to assist them is either throw stuff from the roof. There's like crates and pots and plants and stuff up here. You can throw stuff down to kind of like hope to kind of create a like a Goldberg machine, and just like Goldberg is incorrect. Goldberg machine is incorrect, but throw stuff down to kind of like create more debris between where they are and where the line of sight that Sabhir is at risk of getting into. You can help Sabhir up. You can jump down and try to like cover Sabhir. What would you, or if you have a different idea?
If I help him up on the roof, would that like potentially blow his cover?
Potentially, yeah.
If I throw things off the roof, can I like throw them and then hide, like duck down so they don't see me at the roof?
Say, because hiding is an action and throwing stuff is an action, I'll say that you're able to throw stuff, and using your movement to kind of break line of sight, you can try to confuse the guards to see which direction you're taking. If they catch you.
I think I'm gonna try helping Sabhir up.
Okay. You're on a 2-story building. This is pretty tall. I'll say there's rope here. Yeah.
Well, I have a rope in my
rope, yeah.
Inventory, so I'm gonna like take a rope, and I don't know if there's like piping or something on the roof that I can like just strap it to really quick, like double knot it, and like use that to assist me so that I can brace when I'm like helping him up by holding the rope. But I'm gonna like throw the rope down and just yell like, Davin, come up here. They haven't found me. I think you'll be safe up here in the roof.
Okay.
And I'll grab onto the rope and I'll start trying to climb up.
Be quick, like the cat you are.
Make athletics checks. Both of you.
Make stealth, you said?
Athletics.
Natural 20 for 25. Where was this all game?
9.
The 25 is sufficient to bring you up to where you gotta be. You make it up to the second floor. Guards are gonna roll. 18 perception. They catch you. They start running down the alleyway to where you guys are. You guys continue to run across the roofs. As you make it to the end of the roof, there are these wicker sort of like roofs from stands. You go to run across the first one, it works fine. The second one breaks through. Shun, you feel just boom, 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 boom. Like this Goliath just like land on you, breaking all of your stand and your fish. And after her, boom, right on her back, this Leonin with a shield and spear and short sword. And you guys just kind of make eye contact. So here, because you guys crash into each other and you see the cloak kind of go off, you can feel the horn that Shun has, and you just kind of like the illusion is broken for a second, where you see Shun as he is.
Real quick, Shun would have like to save, because again he's used to needing to get out quick. He would have had like some kind of like paint on his hands, so when he gets up and he rubs it, you know, like you actually see like this pale kind of makeshift paint rub off and it's red, and then as the hood comes down you see that he's still the tiefling form.
There you go. Yeah, for sure.
I've heard about you.
Lion.
Or horns.
Vagari.
Prisoners! And you just see the guards running.
And Shun will get up and you this way, get away, and run down what one of his trademark escape routes.
Let's do this. Shun, make a, let me see here. What is the most appropriate?
I was gonna say demon, but I was like, that's rude.
I mean, some people do call tieflings demons.
It's not the worst thing he's been called.
you have a choice. History or survival?
Same. 16.
16. All right. You've been able to kind of map the city out a little bit, at the very least this section of the city. One of the escape routes that you have planned out takes you out towards the docks, and from like the outer city docks that leads out to the ocean. The guards, where the direction they're coming from, they're kind of cutting off where 3 of your escape routes, like this alleyway leads to 3 of your escape routes. The only escape route that you have left is going the other direction towards the docks. It's a bit longer, but you're able to, like, that's what seems to be the safest one from what you've mapped of the city so far in the months that you've been selling your fish here.
Run fast, and I will head that direction.
Okay. All right. So, Shun, roll initiative as well, please.
16.
16. So it goes Sabhir, Shun, guards Vagari.
Okay.
So Shun is taking the lead in this case. It's going to be his turn is how we're going to play it at the moment. So you start running a direction. Now, same options. You can either choose to fight the guards, continue to run to open the distance, or try to stealth.
Shun's gonna stealth. Well,
Okay.
yes, Shun will stealth.
Make a stealth check.
8.
You run. The illusion is a little messed up with the cloak having fallen back, and you're drawing a little bit too much attention, and some people are just gasping, and you're kind of a little bit drawing a crowd. Sabhir. No. Guards. Perception check. That's 7. What did you roll? 8.
8 for stealth.
All right. They run past where the crowd is forming. The crowd actually starts to kind of cover you a little bit. Vagari, what are you doing?
I turn to Sabhir. Well, he's the first one that's been on our side in a while, so I think we should just follow his lead. And I just like dash to keep up with him because he
Okay.
seems to know where he's going.
I'm just trying to like brush myself off.
He could be leading us into a trap.
Yeah, well, he's the best option we got right now.
Bam!
Okay. Sabhir, what are you doing?
I run after.
Okay. Now we're going to do this together, where the 3 of you are going to go together, and then the guards are going to go. So,
Glass pane walking by.
a glass pane
Two
walking
guys,
by.
2 guys carrying
Just-
a cake.
Here's what we'll do.
A watermelon cart.
You guys continue to run. The crowd starts to form. Let's have everybody do athletics checks or acrobatics, your choice.
Seven.
1.
19.
Okay. We'll do the guards. 11, 7. Nat 20. They catch up, and each of them is going to take a strike on each of you. One of you guys is going to get 2 of them. I rolled 2 19s and a 15. Holy fuck.
Right.
And then another one, a 16. So they come out with their swords. First initiative is Sabhir. That's 4 points of slashing.
Okay.
Shun, 4 points of slashing. Vagari, 6 points of slashing. And 5 points additional to 1, 2, 3. Reroll on 4s. 5 points additional to Sabhir.
Right.
Okay. What are you guys doing next? Shun, your escape path. You manage to make it past the majority of the bazaar. Most of the stands are now gone. You make it onto the large, wide walkway where all of the major ships are kind of going through. You can go either left or right. You know that going right towards the east is faster to your village. Left, you're able to have more coverage, but it's a higher risk to have the guards catch you.
So right,
Because you'd have to double back to get back to the village.
Let's say evens right, odds left. Odds gonna go left.
Okay. You continue to go left. Make. Okay, you're gonna go left. The guards have taken their swipes on you. Are you gonna try to stealth, run, or attack them?
I turn around and I see the lion man, and I'm like, lion. But then I see behind him chasing me is a Goliath.
Yep.
All bets are off. I'm dashing. I'm going
Okay.
as fast as I can. They can keep up or not.
Okay. So here, Vagari, you both see this. What do you guys do?
Run faster.
The closest guard I would like to trip, and then I would like to use my action surge to dash.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Uh, 19 plus 5, 24.
Okay, they're gonna do a strength check. What's the DC?
13.
They rolled a 10.
All right.
The guard trips. I'm gonna roll a percentile die and see if other guards will trip along with him. If I roll, actually, you call it. No, we'll do this. We'll use Tiffany's coin.
Yay!
Okay, Sabhir. Call it 1 or 20.
20.
It is
20.
20.
Nice.
Hey,
Sweet.
they take 5, 9 plus 3, 12 damage, and they're tripped.
Okay.
If they died from tripping, I would die.
They. I think 12 points of damage is going to be enough to kill this particular guard. So you
dispersed maybe through all of them. If a 20.
okay?
I don't want to
alright.
kill these guys.
Yeah,
I don't
we'll do
want to
that,
kill
we'll
the
do
guards.
that,
They're
we'll
doing
do
their
that.
job.
Maybe the
We'll do
gore
that.
of his
You
head
managed to,
exploding scares
Nick-
the rest.
You managed to nick one and in
Just
the
like-
same. You managed to like trip one with like the backside of your spear, turn your spear and just like slice another one, and then like turn around, hit the other guy with the back of your spear, and you just dash onward. The guards trip and they continue. Vagari, what are you doing? Oh, you said you were dashing. The guards need to take half their movement to stand back up. And we'll go back to Shun. At this point, Shun, you are running. You kind of look back at the Goliath, and then as you look forward, boom, you slam into a familiar face. You see Talith, the Aasimar with porcelain skin that has like gold lines, veins throughout her skin. And she looks at you and goes, Shun?
Tyler, I'm running into no time to talk. Need help. Please?
And she kind of looks behind you and sees that and says, up the gangplank, now.
Thank you.
No, you have friends.
What? Oh. And just run up the gangplank.
You both see Shun go onto the ship, and you see this this Aasimar with like porcelain-looking skin. It's a bit shiny, but it seems kind of cracked and broken, but filled in with like these gold lines. And she just kind of like gives you guys a signal to go into the ship.
Wings out or nah?
No wings out currently.
Okay. I think I would still be gunning it, but once I got up to Talif, I'd probably like slow my gait and just like, what? And just
Yeah,
run.
you've never seen a Asimar before.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world we live in, Sabhir.
Vagari, you as well?
Yeah, we're going up.
Okay.
As
Alright.
as if I still have the action economy, unless this has been a dash, Shun feeling fear, feeling caught, thinking, oh, they're gonna capture me, I'm gonna be put back in a cell. He's just thinking like he goes back to when he was a kid, running away because this Goliath is now chasing him, and he's immediately back as a child and thinks, what would Bronder do? What would Bronder do? What would Bronder do? And casts disguise self.
And what does your disguised self form look like in here?
Shun thinks it looks like the old man, but what it really looks like is Bronder.
And describe Ronder for us.
Ronder is roughly the same height, a little shorter than Shun, so about 6'2", 6'1". Pale skin, blue eyes, beautiful blonde hair that's like braided tightly, and human.
Okay.
Do we see him transform?
You would see him like ducking into a corner on the ship, trying to keep out of sight, and then, I mean, if you want to make a perception check, if that's okay, DM.
Yeah, let's do that. You roll a stealth check, and we'll see who manages to catch you.
Sure.
I rolled an 18.
11.
15.
They both see you. You both see him transform.
That's a
At
pretty
this
full
point-
party trick.
At this point, the guards run long. Talif just kind of stands and like sees them run off, and then she comes back up onto the ship. She goes, "Drajet!" And from like above where the steering wheel is, where the wheel is, you see this dwarf with a long sort of brown cloak, captain's hat, and a bit of a gait. Where he has an axe that he uses as a walking stick. He kind of comes down. What's up? Allow me to introduce you. Where did the horned one go?
I'll look at Shun's new visage.
Don't know.
And she looks at you, Shun, and just... Allow me to introduce you to my friend, Shun, and his friends, and she kind of looks to you, Vagari and Sabhir.
Oh, Sabhir.
Yes, and I'm his sister, Vagari.
Well, my name is Talif. This here is Captain Drajet. Drajet kind of stands up straight a little bit. And to what do I owe the pleasure of you three?
Well, I was just selling fish when a lion and Goliath rained down upon me.
Like a good omen.
The best.
Talif kind of straightens up. Haven't seen you in, like a couple years. What kind of trouble are you into these days?
More or less the same.
Well, maybe we can help you. And Drajik kind of like eyes her a little bit. I mean, we need volunteers for the order. He kind of like rubs his beard a little bit. Aye, what we do. So you three are on the run at the moment? And he gives you like a sly smirk.
On the run has negative connotations. You could say we're in between jobs right now. We're looking for
Slight
opportunities. And I'll be frank, Sabhir and I, we are good with manual labor. Like, we are physically adept, we're strong, we can do whatever you need. Ships, I'm sure, take a lot of work.
I like this one. Right. I believe you might have some other skills. And he kind of like looks over his shoulder, and you can see on the walls of some of the storefronts some of the wanted posters that are there, and your guys' faces are there as well. I'll tell you what. You're part of the gladiator uprising that escaped the Almajid Arena.
In a way, against our will. I would say that those are some strong words. We really, I mean, honestly, this all happened in a matter of, what, a day?
It's been a few weeks.
It's been a few, okay. So everything, the uprising happened literally overnight. It was so chaotic. We basically just got drug into the situation and somehow ended up here.
Fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what. We're here conscripting people into the Order of the Broken Horizon and hiring mercenaries to assist with protecting the border from the Blightland. You can take your chances with the guards, get sentenced to prison or death, or both. Or you can join us. We're heading back to Sagen today. Help the Order out. Help the Wardens out. We can pay you handsomely and maybe legally guarantee some freedom for you. What do you say?
What do I say? I like pick up a broom. Don't gotta ask me twice. I just start like sweeping the floor. It's like, I already work here.
I like this one. You said Vagari?
Yes, Vagari Gothikanaki.
Very nice to meet you. And he like puts his hand out to shake your hand.
I take mine out too, and I just give like a super firm handshake.
Very good. Welcome to the Stone Wing.
Sweet.
Think it's time to go? And Talif just like, yeah, let's go. The gangplank gets removed back onto the ship. All right, you salty dogs, let's get a move on. Let's move out. And everybody on the ship starts making, all the things that, the ship ready, and the sails go down. You guys start to make your way into the ocean. The scene is yours.
Shun will make his way to Talif and just ask where the galley is.
Go down 2 levels and make it near the aft of the ship.
Tusen takk, Talif. Tusen takk. And to go down.
Before he goes, can I like kind of just like run over to him and give him kind of like a side hug, like, thanks man for helping us out back there.
As you do, Shun will react violently, and attempt to basically elbow to get you off as violently as possible.
Hey man, you don't have to be such a jerk about it.
And just go.
I think that one might be a little bipolar.
You were so helpful. And then so rude.
Yeah, I don't really get it. Is his friend still up here?
Yeah.
Can I turn to her and just be like, what's his problem?
I don't know. I guess we'll maybe find out, or maybe we won't. But we've worked together once before. So it's a good guy,
Well,
I think.
Well, to play devil's advocate, maybe he wasn't wanting to get drug into this situation that we kind of put him in. So perhaps an apology might be in order later. For now, maybe just give him some time.
Well, we've got a long journey ahead of us before we make it back to Sajin and back to the Agu Citadel. So, plenty of time to bond.
Maybe after this, I'll have 2 brothers.
I think that's a tall order. I mean, I'm still the best.
Sabhir, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Is Sabhir really just dad?
Oh, that's good.
It's a new move I'm working on in my calisthenics class.
Nice. I didn't know you took calisthenics.
I do it every morning, but you're still sleeping.
Well, never been an early riser.
Early bird gets the worm, or something. Something of that nature. We're free.
Well, I guess to that point, I'm gonna keep trying to make myself useful. I think that them letting us on the ship and not turning us in was really gracious of them, and I think the least we can do is at least put our best foot forward.
I will give it my best shot, but keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, definitely. We're not quite out of this yet. And I just go back to sweeping, and if I see people carrying large cargo up or down, I just like offer to assist them.
I'll step off to the side, and if I have a bag or a backpack or anything like that, I'll pull out some of my like handwritten notes, and I'll just start writing to mom and dad and just telling them like the adventures that I just had and how I'm finally, or I think we're finally free.
Okay. Shun?
And then I'll just roll it up.
Shun is silent, makes his way to the galley, and then as soon as he's alone, God damn. Found the lion. But fucking Goliath. And he grabs for like just some fruit, pulls a pear, looks for a knife, cuts it violently, he's pulling it apart. What the fuck does this have to be a Goliath?
Is Shun low-key racist?
You,
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now.
you hear a very subtle little in your head.
You think this is funny?
Hilarious.
Sets the knife down, goes to a barrel for some water, pulls the lid off, and as he goes to get a ladle full, sees for the first time that he's not the old man, and that he's in fact Bronder. Enough of your games. And then the visage fades back to the tiefling.
And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight. Thank you all very much for joining in session 2 of our Tesla prequel.
Why do I feel like session 3 is about to just be like me and Shun fighting the whole time?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
which only makes like session of the main campaign, like session 2 and on, just really heartfelt.
Yeah.
We're best buds. Meanwhile, on the ship is like,
I love you. I fucking hate your sister. You suck.
Basically.
You rock. How are you two related? No, but how are you two related?
it's the Homer Simpson choking out this, choking out Bart.
Oh, jeez.
Next session will be super fun.
Which we are doing next Wednesday. Oh,
We gotta do the thing!
3.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the Nara
1.
thing.
And we're out.
Oh my god.
And now we're out.